Are you someone who has never touched Python but have been wanting to try it out? Good, you're in the right place. That was me 2 or 3 weeks ago. Are you maybe a little intimidated or unsure about which things to download, so you just watch videos about coding, putting off actually doing it? Well, that ends today. No more excuses. I've got all the links you'll need in the description below. You're going to sit right there and follow along. After just a handful of steps, you have your first piece of custom software made in Python, written by you. And the point of this exercise is not to learn how to code, it's to familiarize yourself with the ecosystem, the various components, the way they work together. Basically, it's going to be like riding a bicycle around a racetrack before trying to build your own race car and take it full speed into turn 1. If this isn't your very first time touching Python, this video is probably not for you, but you're welcome to stick around and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Okay, let's get started. Step 1, Python. Head to python.org, go to Downloads, get the latest version of Python. I'll be demonstrating it today on Windows. It is available for Mac, and there are some slight differences with the command lines you use, so I have a link below that'll detail that for you. When you run the installer, make sure to check this little box in the first window that pops up. Add Python to path. It's small, easy to miss, but very important. Without it, your computer won't know where Python is. Then just click Install Now. Once it's done installing, go ahead and click Close. Now, what have we just installed? Firstly, the Python interpreter. That's the brain that reads and runs the Python language. Then we have idle, a really basic sort of code editor that we're not going to actually use today, at least. And then tkinter. Tkinter is a built-in toolkit for making windows and buttons. So all the things you get to click on, the graphic user interface builder. It's like a Lego set that lets you design your app that you are building. That comes default with Python. Next, we're going to install VSCode. It is a Python code editor. It's basically an all-encompassing workspace where you'll have your files that you can access and edit and play with your code, and has a lot of tools and widgets that make it really easy to get the hang of things. You'll go to code.visualstudio.com, download and install. Now, just like with installing Python, you want to make sure that you check the box Add to Path. So now you can go ahead and open up VS Code. First thing you might see is an invitation to start using their AI features that can use this Copilot to generate code and fix errors and answer your questions. I wouldn't set that up just yet. You can set it up later, and I'll show you why in a little bit. On the left bar over here, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and click on Extensions. Immediately, you'll see some suggested extensions to install. Of course, we're going to want to install the Python extension. You notice all of these are being installed as well. One other thing I recommend installing is something called PyLint. It's kind of like spell checker. You'll get literally the squiggly red lines under something that isn't really conforming to the Python language. And once we're done installing all our extensions, we're ready to go. So let's create our first project, and I highly recommend you create a folder, call it Python Projects. Doesn't matter where you put it, but all your projects will be in individual folders in that Python project. Just keeps it organized, real nice. So I've made an empty folder here called My First Project. Name it whatever you'd like. Do you trust yourself? It's a question we must all ask at some point in our lives. Once you have that folder opened, you'll see it listed here at the top with some options: New File, New Folder, Refresh Explorer, or Collapse. So let's go with New File. We're going to call it My First Project.py. All Python scripts will be in .py. and then hit Control and the little squiggly next to the number 1. This opens up a terminal at the bottom of the screen. So let's talk about the 3 main areas of VS Code as you will be using it. This is the area where code is written. This will be a list of all files and folders within the particular project you're working on. And down here is a terminal that is not unlike your command prompt. It's essentially the same thing. Now that we have it all set up and ready, let's do some quick checks before we write our first program. In the terminal, type in Python, 2 dashes, version, hit enter. Do the same with pip space dash dash version. This is making sure both Python and pip are installed. I'll get into what pip is later. Okay, so we have built our sandbox. Let's go find something fun to play with in our sandbox. You can use whichever AI platform you're comfortable with. I would recommend giving GPT-5 a try at chatgpt.com. If you haven't yet, they're touting its ability to be a good coding assistant or, be good at helping you with code. So the prompt that I have put together for today's project is asking ChatGPT to generate a Python script for a clock app using the tkinter GUI. Now that's the graphic user interface designer tool that came with your Python. Sometimes if you don't tell it to use this, it'll make a just text version in the command window rather than a pop-out app you can click on and touch. There should be a GUI color scheme editor section in the code. This is handy if you want to customize things after the fact. Ensure that the clock face color can be changed. The clock should be a round analog clock with an hour, minute, and second hand. The only numbers on the face should be the 12, 3, 6, and 9. Include a month and day and a little box to the left of the number 3. Got a little calendar there. Include a placeholder in the GUI editor for the user to place a .ico file, so an icon of their choosing will appear just under the 12 on the watch face, just like you find on most watches when the manufacturer puts their logo in there. So this might seem a little complicated or extra, but I've got confidence in GPT-5. Look at that, telling us what it's doing. Here we go. Gives you a nice little breakdown. And instructions to save this as analogclock.py and run Python 10. I think we're running 13. So here is all the code that it wrote. And is still in fact writing. Pro tip. Make sure it's actually done writing the code before you copy and paste it into your editor. Once it's done, at the bottom, it will likely give you some tips on how to tweak things in the code and give you suggestions for what it could do to modify, upgrade this app in the future. But we're just going to hit the copy button, head back over to VS Code. Now remember, we already made an empty project, myfirstproject.py, and paste the code in. You'll see on the right over here a window that shows you the totality of your script. And if there's something wrong, you remember earlier I mentioned pylint, it's like the spell checker. Let me show you what that would look like over here. So I've tabbed in this line here, and you'll see the red squiggly. As you hover over it, it tells you there's an unexpected indentation. Over here on this window, if you're looking top to bottom of your whole script, you'll see some red popping out. Kind of lets you spot where the issues are in the whole document. So we've dropped our script into the document. We'll want to hit save, and immediately we hit some red lines. You'll see there's some red here and some yellow down here. You can ignore the yellow for now, but at the top we can see there's some red, and that is here from pill import image TK. Unable to import PIL. Not sure if that's an issue. Let's find out. We're going to go ahead and hit the play button up here. This is going to run our Python file and see what we get. We're either going to get the app popping up on our screen or a list of errors and issues down here in the terminal. Look at that. We got our app. Now, you might have gotten something different. You might have gotten some errors down here. I'm not really sure, but if you do, you'll just copy and paste those errors back into ChatGPT. Don't even ask a question. Just copy and paste the error in there. It'll look and find its mistake. But I think it's a safe bet that you and I both got the same output, or relatively close output, just now. As you can see, the clock looks as I described it. And in the code here, you'll see there's the customization of all the colors options. And you can actually, this is what's really neat, just hover over each color and change it. You want that to be blue? Great. You want the second hand to be, let's make it bright green. Awesome. So we close our previous clock. Make sure you click save on the changes you've made. Now our date is blue. That was a bad idea. And our second hand is green. So there's a lot more to explore in the code here, things that you can change and adjust. And if you break it, then you have to learn how to fix it. One thing I wanted to point out before it starts to frustrate you, you'll notice these lines at the top of the scripts. Import, import, import. Those are different skill sets that Python is going to need to execute whatever task this code is telling it to do. Now, Python does come with a handful of skill sets or modules, chiefly the tkinter that makes the GUI look very nice. But there are other skills a future app of yours might need that it probably doesn't have. And you're going to be told it can't find that module. And the solution will be to pip install that module. What does that mean? That just means you go to the App Store for Python and get that skill. And it's very simple. You'll open up a command prompt window on your computer. Just hit Windows CMD. And all you're going to have to do is type in pip install and whatever single or double word module it told you to install. It will automatically know what you mean and go and get it from the Python library. I need PyInstaller. That is the module that allows you to package this into a .exe file and just leave it on your desktop. So it's just an app that you can use. And it heads off to python.org and grabs the tool you need. After which you go back to your code and run it again, and it should have that skill set and clear up that no module found issue. There you have it, folks. An app that you have made, yours right here. Now, currently it does live here in Python, and if you want to use it, you're going to have to come here to run it, but I'm sure you're going to have a great time with your AI interface, ChatGPT, Gemini, whoever you use, and figure out how to package it into an executable and put it on your desktop So your wonderful creation will be there for you all the time. All right, that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. As I said earlier, I'm still learning all about this stuff myself, and I wasn't really planning on making any more videos on the topic of coding and Python and everything else that I'm playing around with. But if you like the way I'm teaching myself and want to see more of it, or you just want to watch me make a fool of myself as I bumble my way through all of it, let me know in the comments and I'll put some more stuff together. So usually when there's a red squiggly, the app won't even run because this is a egregious error. But I think I might have figured out why it's running despite this, and that's because this is part of the mechanism to let me use a custom icon. And we're not using a custom icon. But if I did want to use a custom icon, I need to install something called Pillow. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. Pip install Pillow. That's it. We are all done. Save the file and it goes away. There we go. Now I just got to figure out where to put that icon. Haha. So I was able to get the icon file loaded onto there, and I had to adjust the date inside the date box. The text was too big, but all the information to fix or adjust or get those outcomes are there in the code or linked below. So get at it, explore, break it, fix it, have fun.